What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party.
Party people gather round. What you have is a brand new sound. It's the People's Party with Talib Kweli. This is another fantastic episode. I got my lovely, beautiful, talented, intelligent co-host in the house, Jasmin Leigh. Give it up for Jasmin Leigh in the place to be.
Hey, Jasmin.
Jasmin, you heard that voice in the back?
I heard it, and you know I'm excited.
That's an iconic voice right there, Jasmin. You know what we're doing. The People's Party don't stop. As you see, I'm in some sort of random nondescript conference room, and I'm in Ohio, and this gentleman who we're going to interview had a show in Ohio. It was a socially distanced show in Ohio. And you know, I've been out in Ohio all summer with Dave Chappelle and Team Chappelle Summer Camp. This man, the voice is so iconic. You already heard it a little bit. I could play you 2 seconds of his flow. You'd recognize it instantly. He's beyond a household name. But like I told this man, word up. I told him he's the exception. He's the exception to the rule because he was not supposed to make it. But when he made it, he did not switch up. This man had every reason to give into the darkness fully, and he found his way to the light. This is a man who just represents the best of the culture. He doesn't sugarcoat it. So we get the beautiful and we get the ugly. This man's debut album is Dark and Hell is Hot. It took the world by storm. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. It came out the same year. 2 platinum albums in 1 year. He was strangling the game. 6 more studio albums after that. And I might be getting this wrong, but I believe that this man had 5 #1 debuts on Billboard. The only artist in history to have 5 #1 debuts on Billboard. He's also a film actor. You're talking about Belly, Romeo Must Die, Cradle to the Grave. Positive, funny collaboration with Snoop Dogg on the Versus battle. Shout out to Timbaland and Swiss Beats. And we're going to give him a chance to tell us what else is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, an unstoppable force, an icon, somebody who represents the best of hip hop. We have DMX in the motherfucking house. Give it up. DMX.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yo, it's funny that you said unstoppable force because that's how I got my first manager. There was a talent show, and I wrote a song called Unstoppable Force.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm the DMX of Unstoppable Force. The only way I'll ever stop is if my voice goes hoarse. And I mean, that was like the first 2 bars of it, but it's crazy that you just happened to say that because it brings me back to the beginning of, I would say that, you know, my professional career, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that was the first time I got a manager at that point, you know what I'm saying? I rapped before that, but I got a manager and, you know, I was doing talent shows and you know, I just like the way, I love the way, and I appreciate the way that guy was able to give it to me, you know what I'm saying, at his pace, you know what I'm saying, a little bit at a time. So, you know, I wouldn't get caught up in, you know, the industry part of it. Yeah. You know, but just do what I love to do what he built me to do, man, and I'm just extremely grateful to be able to do that. Still.
2 nights ago. Not 2 nights ago. Last night. That's how crazy the night was.
Y'all living it up out there.
Last night. We were trying to link up with you, and I was speaking to your peoples and speaking to the management and all that. And your manager was on the phone talking about DMX is gonna come and see you and Dave Chappelle, but he gonna bring some crabs. Yeah. He gonna chef up some crabs. Yeah. He was like, that's gonna be great, right? But then, you know, we was trying to get you there, and it was like we weren't sure if you were still coming. He was like, I have to find the crabs. And I was telling your manager, I said, listen, it's not about the crabs, bro. It's about us powwowing with X. Mm-hmm. But when you got there, and you showed up with the crabs, and you cooked the crabs. Right. I understood that I was wrong. It was about the crabs. It was about breaking bread. You couldn't come around us without bringing something, without gifting us.
Yes, it's a part of the process. It's like when Jesus sat on the beach. You know what I'm saying? And he was speaking to the people that only had 5 pieces of fish and a few loaves of bread.
That's right.
Like, if you're gonna speak to the people, at least feed them. You know what I'm saying? So that way, you know, they can maintain listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's exactly where I was going with it. I know that you're very spiritual, and I know that you draw huge inspiration from Jesus' story in the Bible. Yes. And when you fed all of us, and you were very proud and excited about how much food you had to feed us. You said that's just the first batch. I got the second batch coming. I said that's the loaves of bread story right there. Exactly. That's what he's doing.
Exactly. And I did it like they said in the Bible. I broke it down. You know, so
yes.
Each leg was about 18 inches long. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And break it. And I can't give away Now, I'm not even gonna mention how I served it with no shells. Shell free.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
and,
right.
You know, everybody wants to eat the crab legs, but you know, when you're breaking them and you know, the pointy things hurt your hand and you get it all over your shirt, it kind of takes away from it. But there was none of that. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed cooking. You know what I mean? Because I talk shit about it. Like, I can cook, I can do this, but I proved it. I proved the point that I'm saying when I can cook, I cook well. I can't cook everything. Right. I can only cook about 3 or 4 things, but the things I can cook, I cook well. And I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
We got to set up a cook-off between you and Donnell Rollins, who also does crabs.
Oh, I'm in that. I do crabs too, Talib. Did you not forget?
I got to roll the sleeves up?
You got to roll your sleeves up. Jasmine, I don't know if you're ready for this
Talib,
challenge.
you had my crabs, and you loved them.
Pause.
This time last year on the rooftop.
You made the crab legs?
I'm a chef. I don't know why y'all keep trying to count me out of these cook-offs, but I'm ready. My sleeves are rolled up, and I'm ready to win.
I'm not a chef, but the crab legs, I mean, I would beat you so bad with the crab legs, it would be domestic violence.
So we can have a chopped cook-off right here.
Oh, let's get it. Hold me back.
Now, another thing that was fun is that Dave Chappelle is a huge fan of Bobby Caldwell and the song What You Won't Do. And often in the shack where we party, we sing that song together. And Dave did that when you was there. And unbeknownst to everybody in the room, that's also one of your favorite songs.
One of my favorite songs.
So you was like, I'm going to sing the song. And you, brother, you serenaded us. But what was interesting was you not only hit all the notes, you also gave us the DMX growls and the whats and all that while you was singing. You got the ad-libs in the song. You know, and you sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I play that every Christmas. You know what I'm saying? People don't get to see that side of you, that joyous, loving music. Right. Do you wish that people got to see that more fun side of you more?
Well, I mean, if I'm in the company of people, then they get to see it. You know what I'm saying? Right. If the perception of me is one that's gotten from the media, the news, and then you're not going to get a good view of who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm laid back. Yeah, I might find it hard to believe it. I'm actually kind of laid back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I enjoy having a good time. Because
we had a good one.
Life is too short. I mean, life is too short not to try to enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yes, for sure. Being gruff has become a piece of your style, but part of that comes from the fact that you had terrible bronchial asthma as a kid, and you wake up unable to breathe.
Yes.
And that's how your music feels to me. This is someone who's fighting to fucking breathe, someone walking the tightrope between life and death. These are references. There were references to drowning and being unable to breathe in your first album. How much of your life was like that? Tell me a story of waking up and not being able to breathe.
I say that with the asthma, it's like even with a slight, it's raining. Even if I had a slight attack, you know what I'm saying, it would be hard to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So sleep was not so like if it bothered me in any kind of way, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. I would be up and I had to sit up, and I remember gripping the corners of my bed. Because it was so hard to breathe, and it was like I was whistling, and that's scary. That's scary as a child. You know what I mean? That would be scary, and when I would get scared, like the anxiety would set in, and that makes it worse. I mean, it used to be so bad that my tongue would get numb. You know how if you sleep on a certain part of your arm and it feels like little needles. I mean, my tongue would feel like that. I mean, my hands would get numb, and we lived on the 11th floor in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So when she called the ambulance, sometimes the firefighters have to walk up 11 flights of steps, and that was the first thing I said that I ever wanted to be, was a firefighter, because those guys are real heroes. You know what I'm saying? And when they knock on your door, their only agenda is to save your life. You know what I mean? They're not concerned with, what other crimes may or may not be happening or anything of that nature. They're here to save your life. And they used to just, calm me down. Sometimes they put the hat on my head, like, you're gonna be all right, little buddy. And just that right there, that little dialogue would just make me feel good. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be one of them when I grow up. But having asthma and bronchitis, it's not an option. I'm like, well, you know, and it's all right. But like whatever job I do get, I want to be able to help people with whatever it is I do. Whatever it is I do. You know what I mean?
Shout out to all the firefighters. Word of bond.
Yeah. True heroes. True
That's
heroes.
right.
True
That's right.
heroes. True heroes.
That's right. So speaking of fire, you sold some fire-ass mixtapes on the streets in Yonkers. You battle rapped in prison. How did battle rapping in prison and selling tapes on the street shape you as an artist? And can you maybe share a story from early days running around Yonkers?
Well, see, I kind of grew up with hip hop, where it'd be like as hip hop, because people think hip hop is not just music. Hip hop is a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of talking. It's a way of standing. The b-boy stance. You know what I'm saying? It's graffiti. You know, DJ, breakdance. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had to do something that was a part of hip hop, which is the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And as I started beatboxing, I used to do the beatbox, and a huge part of the music aspect of it.
With Ready Ron.
What? Oh wow, whoa, okay, shit just got real. All right. So I'm in Yonkers, you mean, and I just come home from being in these institutions from the age of 7 to 14, you mean, and this guy, Ready Ron, I mean, he was like an older brother to me, and he would rap, and I would do the beatbox. And I looked up to him like an older brother. You know what I'm saying? I love this guy like an older brother, and I don't have any brothers. And man, I would beatbox, he would rap, and then he suggested one time. He said, "You know what? Why don't you write a couple of rhymes and they'll act as a beatbox for you? You know what I'm saying? We can like trade places." I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." And I remember, I remember. Went upstairs, taking a piss, and that's where my first rhyme came to me. You know what I'm saying? And referring to incidents occurring in past times when the beats of my profession, I had no rhymes with the daytime change, and so do I will. That's when I remember journey up the MC hill to make my first step forward to leave behind my past. Had to put my future first, everything else last. First rhyme was unacceptable, but that's when changed by taking parts of words with them rearranged, and it was like a story. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it was back then. And man, this guy, and I could tell by his response that it was a dope rhyme. I'm like, okay, so we worked at it like that. But this guy, he introduced me to what would be the best part of my life, which would be the rap. But he also, at the end of my life, is blessed with the curse. And the curse aspect of it was, like I said, I didn't smoke cigarettes. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old, and me and my man should do a robbery one night, and it was his birthday, and we came back. We split the money. I said, "Here, take this. Go get something nice for your birthday, whatever." So he came back with a blunt rolled up, and as I'm counting the money, he lights the blunt. And I said, "I was impressed. I don't really smoke, nigga. Fuck out of here." And he passed the blunt around. And, wow. And I hit the blunt, and I'm like, I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like this, it just fucked me up. I'm like, the fuck? And, I later found out that he laced the blunt with crack. My thing. Why would you do that to a child?
Right.
And this nigga, like 30, you know what I'm saying? And he knew how I looked up to him. Yeah. He knew how I looked up to him, you know what I'm saying? And why would you do that to somebody who looks up to you like this? I mean,
take your time, brother.
A monster was born. A monster was born. I mean, and Like I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I mean, like I said, especially to someone that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Right.
I put that in one of my songs called Pain. I smoked crack at 14 for the first time. Given to me by a nigga that I idolize. My love is real. But after that, what I saw in his eyes was a snake, and who I love was just a disguise. So the person that I loved was a snake. I mean, he acted like he was a good person. You know what I'm saying? He acted like he loved me, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I didn't, we wanted to talk a little bit later about, about addiction and about pathologies in the hood. And I didn't expect I didn't understand even asking that question, how that's all tied up together. But it speaks to what I said in the intro, is that you showed us who you were. You were unapologetic about telling your story. And the difference between you and a lot of these celebrities, and I said this to you last night, is that you're a true artist. Like, you live and breathe this art, and it's not separate. The rhyming is not separate from who you are as a person. It's like it's really life or death, because it comes from a life or death experience. We appreciate you being so strong and weathering these storms, so you could come and tell us these stories, bro.
Thank you. And I don't see. I can think of no one else that to open up like this about this the way happened. There's other than you. You know what I'm saying? I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. I mean, when you think real MCs, you're right there. You know what I mean?
I love and appreciate you, brother.
I mean, it's just what it is. What it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm glad it was you that I got to talk to. I mean, and I feel like you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I point out the other aspects of the story. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just focus on drug. Like, no, hip hop. You had to do something that was a part of hip hop. You had it is what it was. You know what I'm saying? I did graffiti, all that. You know what I'm saying? I did the beatbox, but you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me open that door, because
thank you, brother.
That's actually the biggest problem, not addiction. And I always said this. I mean, drugs were never a problem. Drugs were a symptom of a biggest problem, a bigger problem. And there was things that I went through in my childhood and where I just blocked it out. But there's only so much you can block out, before you run out of space. I mean, and then you never know when, the things you stored away are just gonna come out and just fall all over the place. And it might not, it probably won't be a pretty situation. So I learned that I had to deal with the things that hurt me that I didn't deal with when they hurt, when they happened. I didn't deal with them then. I mean, it's like, what, let me open this door and start dealing with this shit now before it comes at the wrong time and I just have a meltdown and, I'll be, no more good to anybody. So that's what, that's what's helped, you know what I'm saying, with addiction and sobriety and, just knowing that, let some of the stuff out.
Yeah.
And, I really didn't have anybody to talk to about it because, in the hood, it's like, I was like, all right, this is what it is. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to even help with talking, because so often talking about your problems is viewed as a sign of weakness, when it's actually one of the bravest things you can do. Yeah. One of the bravest things you can do is, put it on the table and chop it up and, just let it out. It has to be to the right person. It has to be with the right person.
I'm happy that the stigma for talking about mental health is not being considered weak, because it's actually very strong, because it takes a lot of courage for you to be able to talk about what's going on. And when somebody asks you how your day is going, and you not just say fine, but you actually let them know what's going on in your life, so that either they can help you out, or sometimes just speaking it out to another person can be what you need in order to move on to the next level.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. True strength. true strength. You know, it just comes with, you know, understanding that there is a problem, or understanding that there were things that, and you know, when I started to store these things away at such a young age, it was a blessing. I look at it as a blessing. It was you know, a gift that God gave me to you know, get past a difficult situation, you know, without having it just like, you know, have me lose my mind up in here.
Up in here, up in here.
That's right.
Y'all gonna make me go all out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had one battle in particular where I just want to bring it back to the battles a little bit. You had one battle in particular where it was you and Jay-Z in the Bronx, which ended in guns drawn, but mad respect. This is one of the greatest.
Right. It wasn't like we were gonna, you know. Those were times when, you know, you was able to battle and say the most disrespectful shit and not have to worry about, you know, getting into a fight afterwards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was about the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? It was about the lyrics. The lyrics were the slugs. The lyrics were the bullets. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say I put hands and feet. And, it was good because it was really our crew. We had a rap group that was part of, you know, Rough Riders. Team and Harlem Nights. They were Harlem Nights, and it was supposed to be Harlem Nights against Original Flavor, which was Jay's, you know, this crew.
Shout out to Ski Beats.
Yeah. and at the end of the day, though, everybody knew what it was. They were saying like, these guys are gonna start off, but you know what the main event is. You know what the main event is. You know what I'm saying? And it went down. And I mean, I got to give it to Jay, man. He's an incredibly talented lyricist. I mean, like dope as shit. I mean, can't take that from him.
That's right.
But and I learned that because, you know, there was no beat, so we had to go a cappella. And I used to rhyme like I had a beat in my head, but that takes away from your delivery. You know what I mean? So I learned that night. You know what? Just talk it. You know what I mean? And you know, you'll get through it. I'm like, okay. But it went on for a while. But, you know, I mean, good boy. You know, it was fun, though. It was fun, man.
It looked fun. They had I seen some of the footage online, and they had some of the footage in the Hard Knock Life movie. Yeah. Just a touch of it.
Yeah.
When I used to work at Inkiru Books, before I was a rapper, I worked at a place called Inkiru Books, and I own the bookstore now. I sell books online, but it used to be a brick and mortar store. And it was hard to find books that would relate to people who were listening to hip hop. You know, shout out to Professor Trisha Rose. She wrote a book called Black Noise. It was like the first academic book. You had writers like Nelson George and Michael Eric Dyson who were touching on hip hop back then, but there was nothing from the hip hop community. And one of the first books from the hip hop community that really kept it real was Earl, the autobiography of DMX. I was very inspired by the stories in that book. I was able to sell it to a lot of people, you know, and getting hip hop on the bookshelf for me, I come from educators, you know, it was very important to me. There's a story in that book that's now legend, that you shared in that book about the first time you rapped for Lyor Cohen, with your jaw wired shut.
Yeah.
You know, this is years before Kanye threw the wire. You was the first wired shut jaw rapper. Can you tell the people that story about why you had to rap with your jaw wired shut for Lyor Cohen?
All right, so criminal, you know. And my thing was robbery. You know what I'm saying? I robbed a lot of people. You know, I robbed people with my dog. You know, so.
Right.
But you know, it got to the point where I robbed so many people that it was like that. One time I didn't do the robbery. I got accused of it. Right. And it's I mean, like, I couldn't make this shit up. Like, what actually happened was I didn't rob that kid. I robbed the people that robbed him. No, I mean, this shit is crazy. So, you know, they see me and I'm getting rid of the jewelry, whatever. And like, yo, you robbed my little. It was my man's son. And he's like, yo, you robbed my son. I'm like, nah. I was like, come on. Like, I know you're slap. Like, nah, come on, at me. And they was like, all right, well, walk us over there so you can see me face to face. And, you know, prove I didn't do it. I'm like, okay, shit, you know. And we walked all the way across Yonkers, and this kid looked me right in my face like, yeah, that's him. I was like, Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I know I didn't do that robbery, but I was so deep in bullshit that I robbed the people that robbed him. So, I mean, you know, if I got all the property there, you know, like, what do you mean you didn't rob him? You have all the stuff right there. So, you know, I stomped out, and they broke my jaw, I think, 2 or 3 places, you know, and they sent me home from the hospital that night, you know, because you want to rob kids, and sent me home, and my neck was swelled up. I ended up with like 2 abscesses. Said if I would have not went to the hospital that next day, I would have died in my sleep because of the infection. And so went, wow, they had to, you know, wire my shit up, close. I'm like, shit is crazy. But you know, the word was out that, you know, New York was coming to Yonkers. Because we was like putting out invitations for battles, like, you know, anybody, any borough from anywhere, come to Yonkers. Like, right. You gotta get past us. You gotta get past us. And you know, by the time they brought me to the studio, of course it was crowded. You know, everybody was taking their best shot. I don't blame them. But I remember I had a black hoodie on. I had a 40 ounce, and I cradled the arm. And when I walked in, it's like they parted like the Red Sea. You know what I'm saying? Because jaw broke or not, I was still gonna spit. I remember I had to talk like this right here because I couldn't open my mouth at all. So that's how I was kicking it, just like this. And yeah, he hid his enthusiasm. You know, like I couldn't really tell outside of it, but I knew what work I put in. I mean, like, I knew that. I knew, you know, and man, and I think shortly after that. So it was like Clue, you know. I had a song with I had a song with the Locks. I had a couple songs with the Locks. Irv Gotti, Usual Suspects, Mike Geronimo. So, you know, I guess Clue was wondering why I always go last. I mean, I guess he felt like a huge part of my success on the song, it was the fact that I went last. And he's like, oh, so D, why you mean I was your last? Homie, say less. 5 stairs, I'm gonna go first, you know what I mean? And I'm a cat that sit back and look at shit, cause crooked shit gets me amped. But you don't know what get you out, stick with camp, grand champ, and I raise more hell to the sorrel. See you ready to peephole, bust at the doorbell. Thought that I was coming without mine. Niggas put me on the front line, cause you doubt mine. Bet yours are lost yours. Coming to get yours, tall yours, and the cost yours. Fuckers had to get stupid, and the ball talk. More dirt, must I do, plus my crew. Bust at you, hey, you like, what's that? Ooh, what's that, Clue? Do I bring a noise or what? Destroy these mutts, these niggas toys, what? And
word up.
I spit it, and at the end of it, it was like, you cats know for real, get at me, dog. So it was more like a sound of frustration, like I didn't have a word for it, but I had to make a sound. That's what it was. So,
I was gonna ask where the barking came from, you know.
Yeah.
Because you would assume it come from you're associated with dogs, but
yeah. I was on my dog shit. I was heavy on my dog shit. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a bark. It was a bark, and a lot of people don't know this either. That phrase, "Get at me, dog." I actually got that from Snoop. We had met Snoop at a party. You know what I'm saying? And you know, let him know that we rap. You know, that's what you do. I thought it was that easy. Like, yo, meet niggas, show me rap. And like, yo, get at me, dog. I was like,
Right.
Okay, yeah. You
right.
know, so
that phrase took over New York in that
so
era
much.
too.
That one sentence had so many different meanings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Calling, put pressure on them, all type of shit. Get at me, like, you know. And then Leo was like, you know, do the same beat. You know, give me 3 verses into the barking. I was like, barking? Like, okay.
Yeah, barking works. Yeah, I meant to do that
thing. The barking thing, of course. Yeah. And man, from there it was just like, it was no looking back. There was no looking back. We did the video in the tunnel. My God, to this day, I have never performed like that. To this day. I performed that same song at least.
You were performing for your life.
It was a show. It was like a party. Like, yo, you make performance. So it wasn't like, you know, oh, we're doing a video. Cut, do it again. No. It was like, yo, you got a performance and we're going to record it.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of the video.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Great video, man. Like, shout out to Sheik.
Thank you. Shout out to Hype Williams, man. Shout out to Hype Williams, my brother.
Shout out to Hype Williams.
Man, yes.
Y'all have a great connection.
Yo, dope connection. Hype is a fucking genius. He's a fucking genius, man.
Yeah.
For sure, yes.
Y'all work very well together.
Yeah. Yeah, he invited me to his house, and the practice said, "You want to be in the movie?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
He had black people looking beautiful in that shit. People were still trying to copy what the
was
looks to
art.
hype. Hype was correct. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Little X too.
Yeah.
So when I started my career, it was with Hot Tech and a group called Mood from Cincinnati, Ohio. They were signed to Blunt Recordings, which was a subsidiary of TVT. Mike Geronimo was signed to Blunt. Irv Gotti and Ja Rule Cash Money Click was signed to Blunt at the time. Now, at this time, this was when Mike Geronimo had dropped Time to Build.
Right.
And we started to see Murder
Was it Time to Build or It's Still Real?
No, this is Still Real was his single.
Oh yeah, that was the single.
That was his big hit record.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
But Time to Build was the underground joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we started to see the beginnings of what we thought was going to be this Murder Inc. thing before John Irv did it again later.
Right.
Double XL did a cover with you, Jay-Z, and Ja Rule.
That was supposed to be Irv Gotti wanted to make a group. Like put us together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what happened with that?
Murder Inc. Because I think we did about maybe at least 6 songs. At least 6 songs under that, Murder Inc. umbrella. But I think like the more we did it, we realized that we were each a force to be reckoned with on our own. You know what I'm saying? So like to be a group, it was just it just didn't make sense.
Right. So you don't really blame anybody. You just
No. Right. Actually, it was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's like before we signed on to be a group, you know what I'm saying? We realized that, we were 3 groups on our own. So, God is great. God is great.
God is great all the time.
I thought I was a part of Murder Inc. growing up. I also thought I was a part of the Rough Riders because my high school, Rough Riders was our mascot. So the Rough Riders anthem was our anthem. Our school went from 7th to 12th grade. So in 7th grade, we played Rough Riders anthem in band. One of my faves. I heard you didn't want to do the Rough Riders anthem and that you said it was too simple.
It was
and
really simple,
you called it elementary and not gangster.
Exactly. I'm a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Like my I pride myself on having content, when I spit. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yo, do this joint. I'm like, really? I'm like, yo, this shit is like wild simple. It's like, but it just goes to show that, sometimes, you gotta listen to the people that's around you, especially when they have your best interests at heart, I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I wrote, matter of fact, it's crazy because that night I wrote 3 different songs. I wrote Let Me Fly, Fuckin' With D, and Anthem. You know what I mean? I wrote all 3 of those the same day, back to back. But I had no idea. I don't think any of us, had an idea of, what was gonna really happen with that song.
What's gonna be?
But I was like, all right, I can do it. Niggas wanna try it. Niggas wanna lie. Niggas wanna lie. Niggas wanna die. Like, fuck it. Let's do it.
So the way Swiss Beats tells that story is that you lost the card game to D Dean, and that's how you ended up having to do the song. Can you tell me about that story?
Quite possible. We would play casino with the cards. You know what I'm saying? And that was probably it. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening because especially after writing a song as deep as "Let Me Fly," you know what I mean? Like that. "Let Me Fly" is joint. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Yo, just do it." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Let me fly. Slipping. There's so many records that have so much depth emotionally. The Game came on this show and he said he describes himself as a conscious rapper that was packaged as a gangster rapper, and that got me to thinking about a lot of MCs who came out and had to pop on the streets. And for a rapper like me, people like conscious rappers, condescending and corny. I've always thought of you as a conscious rapper the same way the Game describes itself. Not necessarily, political with the protesting, but just the raw emotional journey that you took people on and talking about the pathologies in the hood, mass incarceration, prison industrial complex, things like that. Do you feel like the emotional depth of your music sometimes goes unseen or gets slept on?
A lot of times, I don't think that people get a real glimpse into, you know what I'm saying, like what I'm doing with the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you think about it, like the first thing that fans pay attention to is the beat. You know, then the next thing they pay attention to is the hook. And, you know, then they go on into your flow. I mean, and if they're still listening and the song is still being played, then they pay attention to what you're saying. You know what I mean? And to me, I was like, you know, it's kind of unfair, but my thing is like, you know what? Have substance. That way, you know, if it makes it to the point where they're still listening after liking those three aspects of the song, you still give them another treat.
Yeah.
You still give them another treat.
Yeah. Now, you and me talk about how both of us are kind of like old fogies when it comes to the internet. We're not really on the internet.
Right. Not at all.
But a clip recently went viral of some shit that you did in person back in the day. It was you, two of my best friends, Yasin Bey and John Forte, Big Pun, Mike Geronimo, Cannabis. I think it might have been your birthday.
Yes,
y'all were all sitting around a club during the day. I think Torre was there.
Yeah.
You know, can you tell us about how that day happened and how you ended up in that legendary cipher that everybody could go online and see with all those fantastic MCs at the starts of their careers?
It was a restaurant. I mean, it was like, all right, we got to do an interview, and that was a lot of, you know, what I had to do at the beginning of the career. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of interviews here, a lot of interviews there. Never really a fan of it. Never really a fan of interviews. I'm like, you know, fuck it. This is what other artists do. Like, I felt good about it because it showed me that I'm a professional now. You know what I'm saying? And like, these are things that come with it. So, you know, as much as I didn't like to talk, it you know, it showed me that this is what you know, this is what comes with it. And, you know, now you have a real job. And, you know, it's really a job for you. So do it. Yeah. But, you know, that's like I said, anytime, you know, you put one rapper in the room with another or whatever, and, you know, there's going to be some lyrics, it's like, all right, friend, even though, you know, we're cool off the mic, but I got to make sure I put hands.
Right.
You know, I got to make sure I put that work in, you know what I'm saying? And,
right. Now, you used the word professional just now, and I'm very interested in this word when it comes to art. Because I think that you come from a working class background, you come from a hustling background, you come from a grinding background, you always are going to want to be professional.
Right.
How you present yourself. But as an artist, we are not required to be professional.
No.
Like if DMX shows up late to a show or doesn't show up, is he going to get fired from being DMX? No.
Right.
You know, I wrote an essay defending Lauryn Hill because people talk shit about Lauryn Hill. You know, she had a lot of problems in her life, and then she was missing shows, you know, showing up late.
My aspect of it when
I want to get your aspect.
When I say professional, what I mean by that is that I'm getting paid to do the crap. So it's like once you get paid to do it, you're a professional.
Yes.
It's like in the same way the basketball for team for the Olympics is like, oh, they can't play because they're professional, or you know what I'm saying, in college they play but they can't get paid because they're professional. Like that's what professional means to me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're getting paid for a job.
But I also want to make the point for the people watching that when it comes to art, that's part of it. You know, as an artist, you are your own boss. You determine, and people don't gotta like it. The people vote with their dollars. Like if you got to be that nigga. You got to be on the level of a DMX or a Lauryn Hill, or else they gonna stop giving you that money. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the professional comes with making the money. So
yeah, like I said, like once you get paid, it's like all right now.
Word up.
There's a certain level of professionalism that comes with it. It was like, okay, I have to be here. I have to do this. And, you know, it's a good thing. You're not going to like every aspect with any job. I mean, if you're a fucking UPS driver, there's some aspects of your job you're not going to like. You know, you might not like sitting in traffic, but it's a job. It's a job. I mean?
Right. No doubt.
I want to talk about dogs. Your lifelong connection to dogs and your characterization of yourself as a dog. It goes beyond posturing or persona.
Friend by having a dog.
Huh?
I mean, I learned how to be a friend by having a dog. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize this aspect of it as well. There are two things that I'm aware of that exist that are capable of unconditional love. Dogs and God. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it's the same thing spelled backwards.
Right, I was just about to say
that. I don't think that's a coincidence. But so I used to steal dogs sometimes. I mean, and I remember it took me all night to steal this pit bull. Beautiful, big head, diesel. It was a brindle pit bull. And when you're stealing a dog, like, you know, and the dog comes to the fence, he's barking. You gotta gain their confidence, gain their trust, get them to like you, and you know, and pet them and all that. So it took me all night to steal a dog. By the time and the hardest part is getting the dog over the fence. Because it's at that point where he'll realize that you're trying to steal him, and he can bite you. Which happened to one of my friends before, you know, or he just gonna go with you, like, I'm ready to go, like, take me out of here. So I stole his dog, and I used my belt as a leash, you know, and I got home, and you know, the projects, they got those, the floors kind of like this tabletop here, where the dog with his nails, everything, like, you know, he's breathing heavy, and you know, I get him home, and Mama comes out of the bedroom, and she's like, get this dog out of here. I'm like, but Ma, like, what do you mean get this dog out of here? Like, you know how long it took me to get this dog? I didn't say still. I said, you know how long it took me to get this dog? Like, come on, she's like, get this dog out of here. I'm like, there's no way I'm just gonna like, said we live on the 11th floor. What I'm gonna do? Just let him go in the hallway? Like, or just, you know, go downstairs and let him walk on the street? No, it took me all night to gain this dog's trust. And I'm not gonna violate it, you know what I'm saying? Just because, well, also I'm not gonna talk back to my mother either, you know? So all right. And I went in the refrigerator, the freezer, and I took out 2 hot dogs. And I left with the dog. I'm like, if the dog gotta go, I'm going with the dog. It's just what it is. And you're from New York, right?
Yes.
So, you know, like on the roof of the projects, there's another little structure, a little brick structure on the roof, which leads to the elevator shaft. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I sat on the floor next to that, you know what I'm saying? And I think I got like a rope or something, you know, something a little longer. And, you know, I tied it up to because they had a little one staircase, you know, metal stairs,
railing.
Right. It'd be the simplest thing to throw a nigga off. It'd be simple, like, right. Railing, banister.
Right.
So, and I sit down and I give the dog a hot dog. I ate a hot dog. And I sat there with him. And he put his head on my lap and went to sleep. So a few hours later, you know, I get someone tapping on my foot. And I'm like, what's up? And the maintenance man's like, yo, the elevator's broke. And we gotta get to the elevator shaft. I'm like, what the fuck you bothering me for? He's like, well, your dog won't let us pass. And I'm like, wow, like I didn't even know this dog's name. I gave him some made up name. You know what I mean? I named him Bully, right? And I'm like, wow. And I replayed everything that I went through that night. So I go, I see the dog. I spent hours with this dog, getting him to trust me, gaining his confidence, you know what I mean, showing him that I loved him. And what he didn't know was that I'm not gonna leave him. You know what I mean? So he saw that, you know, 2 hot dogs. And he had one, I had one, and I stayed there with him. And I think he sensed that. You know what I mean? And, you know, therefore, like, making him want to protect me. And I was like, wow. Damn, you can show that to a person, you know, that you're willing to, you know, help them out in any difficult situation, and they'll still cross you. They'll still cross you. But this dog, I just showed him the real. I mean, I stole you. I'm not just gonna throw you away. I'm not gonna throw you away, homie, and I'm gonna give you half of what I had and chill with you. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I wouldn't say I got kicked out, but you know, I left with the dog. I had an option. You know what I mean? I left with the dog. And that showed me right to the day, like, yo, fuck a person. Fuck a person. You know what I mean? The dog is real. The dog is real, man. You know what I mean? Dogs, the dog won't lie to you. I would say a dog don't steal, but they might eat your food. I don't know if that's really stealing.
Yeah, they definitely stole a couple of my
I don't know if
blunts.
that's really stealing or you know, he's taking advantage of an opportunity. He's hungry.
Right.
But it just showed me how real a dog is, man. I mean, and more people are scared of dogs than they are of a gun. At the end of the day. A gun is only as powerful as the person behind the trigger. Where the dog is like, I'm gonna chase you around the car all day. You jump the fence, I'm gonna climb the fence too. Like a dog is like a bullet that won't stop chasing you. You know what I mean? And you're not getting away from a bullet. You're not getting away from a dog. You know, you can dodge a gun or, you know, talk shit to them. Man, put that gun down. Fuck out of here. You ain't busting no gun. Fuck out of here, pussy. But a dog is like, I'm gonna kill you. Calmly, just like, no, I'm gonna get you, nigga.
Right.
You wanna let the leash go? I'm on you. And to this day, I love my dogs. I love my dogs.
What made you take the dog in the first place? Like, what when you were walking by, like, what?
It was a beautiful, beautiful specimen, and I wanted him. I wanted the dog to be my friend because I wanted to be his friend.
Well, I mean, we all know that in every hood you got a gangster, you got the drug dealer, you got the shooter, you got the stick-up kid, and it's pretty clear that you chose the stick-up kid route.
Yeah. I used to rob people with my dog.
Yeah.
No bullshit. I used to rob people with my dog. It's crazy. Scared. I said, motherfuckers are scared to death of a dog. I remember this time we was on, when I say rob niggas on ravine, to make an murder scene. So it was 3 buildings, 55, 57, and... Well, 3 buildings, you know what I mean? And I went and I had one kid put his hands up against the wall and, you know what I mean? I'm checking his pockets, everything. I just knew with his pants around his ankles. I sat my dog right there. I said, sit, watch it. This is Puma this time. Puma was like, he was doing like a person. Right.
You know, you wrote about him in that book.
Huh?
I think you wrote about that dog in the book.
Yeah, in the book, definitely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I told Puma, sit, say, watch him. So Puma was like, you know, he's like moving a little bit, and you know, if I'm not there, the guy's like, you know, one wrong move, nigga, Boom's gonna get you.
Right.
And I went to the next building and stripped this man down, robbed him. You know what I'm saying? I came back, I think it was like tears. He's like, please get the dog. Like he's pleading for his life, but he doesn't want to do it too loudly because you might upset the dog. like you're begging for your life, but you don't get comment. Please get the dog. Please get the dog. Like, all right.
But it seems like the relationship you have with dogs is different than looking at them as property. And in our community, and I don't want to, I don't know too much about dog ownership because I'm not a dog owner. But in our community, you know, the toughness that dogs deal with, like dogs living in the projects, living in the hood, those is tougher dogs. Yeah. Like I remember growing up in Brooklyn, coming off the 2 train at night after going to clubbing, there's like a posse of dogs that we had to watch out for. It's like you had to watch out for certain niggas in the hood, and there's a crew of dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, you ended up in legal trouble with dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like you ended up in. So it's. I think that. I'm trying to understand where the intersect is with ownership and pets and you know, all that stuff. Like, how do you get to a point where it becomes a negative situation?
Just commit a crime.
Yeah.
Commit a crime when it becomes negative. But to me, I said the dog was my friend. It wasn't so much ownership as it was a friendship. See what I'm saying? It's like, so when you say like, oh yeah, that's my dog, it's like, you know, a guy saying, that's my wife.
Yeah.
You know, this is my cousin. It's like that. It's a relationship. It's a relationship type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, dogs are pack animals. So, you know, there has to be an alpha male. And once you establish yourself as an alpha male, it's like, I learned that, like you don't, abusive dogs, I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it. That's wrong. It's wrong. You know? And you can train your dog just by tone of voice. You know, they go, sit down. Come here. Like, and I speak to my dog in Spanish. You know what I mean? And yeah. I got one dog now. I'm gonna get another puppy, and you know, within the next couple of weeks. Press Canarios. Good dogs.
All
Big
right.
dogs. You know what I mean? She's a small specimen. They're like 100, 110 pounds. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We have something in common. I wasn't robbing people with my dog, but I did get caught stealing with my dog at Rite Aid. I was stealing hair products, and you probably shouldn't.
Right.
Listen,
I
didn't have any money, and I needed to do my hair. So I sold the hair products, and I got caught. But I know now, like, huh?
The dog will help you out. The dog will help you out.
Listen, he was holding me down, but he also got me caught because he was too extravagant, so they were looking at him.
You gotta train your dog for these crimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, so I had this one dog called Brenda. Her nickname was Stinker. So when I got her at 8 weeks, and her tail was bit off. So what happened was her mother. I got the dog from the guy. He told me this. He said the mother bit the dog's tail because she got close to her food. Dogs do that. You know what I'm saying? The quick bite. So she was red, brindle, tiger stripe, beautiful dog. Half a tail, and cross-eyed like a motherfucker. So you didn't know who she was looking at, but the bitch was trading. So the type of shit, like when I'm in the car and I got my dog in the car with me, like to me that's the best. You ride with your dog in the car, and anybody got close to the car, this bitch would zap the fuck out. She'd hit them with a crazy. So there was like at least 2 times I got out of a ticket or just interaction with the police totally.
Because of that dog.
Yeah, the police, they get out, they fix their belt and, their hat and walk over and like, hey. And as soon as they got within like maybe 4 feet of the car, boom, she hit the wrong window. Man, you see all the bitch come up out the nigga. All the bitch come up out the nigga. Like, he did all that posturing and posing and getting ready and, walk over. No. Right, homie. Yeah. It's like, just slow down. All right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I love her, man. I love that bitch so much. That's my girl. I'm like, mira, Brenda. Bang.
Man.
Brenda. Brenda.
Man. Shout out to Brenda.
Rest in peace, Brenda.
One of my favorite DMX songs is Who We Be. I remember when it came out. That shit. Woo. Now, I think the record was so ill sonically and so ill lyrically, people didn't understand that it was really diving deep into the regret and anguish of prison.
Exactly.
In your last bid, you did 90 days in solitary?
My last 90 days, I did the whole. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be 23 in and 1 hour out, but the police was on some bullshit, so what they would do is they'd come wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, you want your hour rec? It's like, yo, this shit, Craig, really? Like, I just got to sleep. I'm cold. You gonna wake me up like in the middle of the motherfucking night? Like, oh, you want your rec? You gotta sign up. And then, like I said, I was in the feds, so in the hole, you had to be up with your bed made. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't have nothing on the window. You know, hang out your towel up or your shirt, whatever. Nothing. You had to have I think 1 book on your desk. Like, they was on some real petty shit. So all that wasn't in order. They wouldn't even ask you for your rec. It's like, yo. So I think I didn't go out one time. I didn't have not 1 hour rec. Not 1 hour, the last 90 days. I'm like,
yeah, man. You talk in a real street hood way about the mental anguish of solitary confinement. I read in Nasada's book, she talks about how the hardest thing about solitary is not touching another human being and missing touch and just, man, I can't even imagine.
Combo, but and the feds always like, and it was a 2-man cell. So, but like at the end of the day, if you don't get along with this person, or it's not necessarily that you might have a problem with them, but it's like I don't like you, I don't like me, like I don't want to talk to you, and it's just, and they had to shower in the motherfucking cell. So they're like, there's no reason for you to leave, except they would give you visits, so you get to visit, right? And I had to stay handcuffed and shackled throughout my visit. Now, I'm in one room, my family's in another room, but I still gotta be handcuffed and shackled. I'm like, really? Like, are you fucking serious? Like, I gotta be handcuffed and they're in a whole other room with the phone.
I heard you say in another interview that prison used to be fun on some level, like a playground, rapping, hanging out. But as you got older,
before the fame.
Yeah, right.
Like,
but you
travel around, you get to go places, and there's a lot of things to do. You get your side hustle on, and battle niggas for cigarettes, and like all type of shit, playing cards, like it was the fun aspect of, like I said, I was young. It wasn't like I had to worry about my girlfriend or I had kids to worry about. Like I'm in here, like fuck it, I'm all over the place having fun. Had a band room with band practice. It was all right. And sometimes we would get in fights with the adults. We call them coffee drinkers. we call adults coffee drinkers.
Coffee drinkers. That makes sense. I get that reference.
Yeah, and the minors, wow. We always the wildest niggas in jail. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is like county jail. You know what I'm saying? The pen when you do like a year. I mean, you would do a year in the pen. You know what I mean? Anything over that, you go to prison. You know what I mean? But it's pretty much the same shit. But just, county jail's like, you got better chances of getting visits from your family because, you're right there in the same county.
Right.
But, we used to have fights with adults and, that shit was crazy. I was on Rikers Island, the 4 building. And they had on the water faucet they had one spigot that would give you 190 degree water for the 190. I say they would save you the little bottles of baby oil. Man, half baby oil, had that water in there, straight on the motherfucker, yo. He cooking and burning at the same time. Man. Like, shit was crazy. Like, they was doing some wild shit. I learned how to put a razor in my mouth. I did a song with a razor in my mouth one time. Right? Just to like, be able to keep it up. Like I'm nice with it. Spit the razor out. I seen a dude get his eye, he got busted in the head with a mop ringer. Eye hanging out his head. Man, Rikers Island, you see some shit. You see some shit. 4 building? On the 4 building? Man, shit. Crazy. I see they get spit with the razor from damn near under his ear to his mouth. Yo, and his mouth was closed, but this shit open. He know. Yo, you see it with his mouth closed, but his mouth open. It's like, man. Yo. Crazy.
Now I feel like you in a unique position to answer this, having spent time in the system at different stages of your life. How do you feel like the prison system is failing people, black men in particular?
Because you know what, it's really not about what is it? What is it?
Rehabilitation.
It's not about that. It's not about that at all. They just want you there. And I mean, we knew back then how much money they were getting for us as opposed to what they provided for us. I mean, they were getting like maybe like $35,000 a year per inmate, but they got you working and you getting shit like what 5 cents an hour? Like you working and shit like that. It's like it's modern day slavery. We didn't call it that back then, but you look back at it, that's what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We working for pennies, and then they lock you down when they want to, and shit was crazy. And the police was putting hands on motherfuckers too. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, sometimes it was us against them. Like I said, the minors were always the wildest. The wild. I remember man through what do you call that thing? The cool lady come in. Yo, they threw it. It was coffee. Threw it on a nigga. Right. Shit was and. We used to, but see, back then, we used to be able to, we took the milk carton containers, and you keep it a couple days, it should swell up. Yo, wow, hit the police with it, all that, you know what I'm saying? We used to be able to do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Milk containers. Yo, oh my God. Like, the milk would turn into a sponge.
Any means necessary.
The milk itself was like a sponge, and the water was like gray. Yo, you talk about stink, then motherfuckers started like pissing in the milk carton, throwing the police, but then they started charging motherfuckers with assault. I mean, like anything that you did. Matter of fact, Arizona, I caught assault charge. Hit the police with the tray. Food, you know what I mean? Arizona was different. They only fed you twice a day. Twice a day. And if you still get in trouble, they give you this shit called the Nutriloaf. You ever see that? Yo, you know what a calzone is, like a big ball of bread, but the calzone got meat and cheese. This shit got vegetables. That's it. And because of the amount of nutrients and vitamins and minerals, like it met the state's standard of what they could feed you. But, oh my God, the taste was horrible. And I would get that twice a day. A fucking, almost like a giant softball size of bread with soggy vegetables on the inside.
Jeez. Now, you talked about reading and how reading helped you get through, particularly in solitary, and particularly reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible, yeah.
You know, even telling the story, we talked about the crab legs. You've spoken about becoming a deacon. You've identified
I'm a deacon.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I'm a deacon.
Okay. What does your faith mean to you, and how does it affect you on the daily?
Faith. All right. There are times when me, with my imagination, when I can't possibly imagine a way out of a situation. When my wildest thinking, I still can't come up with a way that this situation can turn out to be good. That's when I rely on my faith. That's when I say, you know what? Like, God can do it. God can do it. God will do it. I'm gonna tell you where it comes from. So, the book of Job, right? Job was wealthy. He had, the women, he had children, he had property. Now, I have 17 children, right? They say that what God took from him, what he gave him, was more, better. I can't imagine let's say, I can't imagine having 5 children. My 5 children die, and God gives me something that's better. He can give me 5 more children, but I still can't imagine how my 5 children, the new one, will be better than the better? What do you mean better? I can love them.
Right.
I can't see how they could take the, if anything, the 5 that I lost would be better in here because they're gone. And there's nothing that can replace that. But the word says that what God gave him was better than what he lost. I'm like, what? Won't he do it? He did. He did. But it's like, when I think I don't deserve it, I think about Jesus and the fact that he was perfect and he thinks that I'm worth it. I know I got a purpose. So when I don't like what I see in the mirror, I'm gonna look past the surface. Believe me, God heard this because these words came from my heart. I was in pain, it was dark. Then came the spark to light down the road to let me know he would lighten up my load and it's gonna get greater later. God only wants the best for me, but the devil's a hater. And I can see his eyes with the smiles of fake friends. If y'all think hate wins and just keep waiting, and at the end of the day, whose will you think will prevail? Or will you live to tell? Miracle after miracle, it comes through. Spiritual individual is in you, so live it, own it, claim it, be it. Embrace it.
Yes.
As long as you embrace it, genuinely, that's what it'll be. You gotta have that. You gotta have that aspect of it. You can't play with it. You can't play, I want it to be that. I would like for it to be this. No. It has to. It has to be you.
Yeah.
Every fiber of your being, own it. It has to be that. If not, it won't. And it's that fucking simple.
Where do you see your influence in this generation of rappers?
You know what? I don't look for that. A lot of times they'll come to me and be like, yo, this song did this for me, and I appreciate it. But my thing is to not to invest too much time in what someone thinks about you, because if you accept the good, then you gotta accept the bad. So my thing is to, you know what? I'll rely on what I believe about me. You know what I'm saying? That way, whether it's a compliment or it's a negative remark, it won't matter what anyone else says. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of strength that you need to have if you're gonna stand up like you're supposed to stand up and be who it is that you wanna be. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people look on the internet, there was negative comments. Like, no, homie, what the fuck are you looking for? You're looking for someone else to paint the picture of you that you need to have for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for someone else to tell you who you are. If you can't tell yourself who you are and be that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I want to give a big rest in peace to Aaliyah. You had a special working relationship with her, Can you talk to us about working with Aaliyah and her legacy?
Man, so the movie was Romeo Must Die, and how I got it was that they wanted me to be in the movie. I'm like, okay. And when you look at the movie, I have 2 scenes, but they're shot in the same place, same location. So so it was explained to me, it was like the movie was pretty much done. They wrote me in. Like, I was written in to the part. You know what I mean? And that Aaliyah had a lot to do with it. So I was extremely grateful. I mean, and we did the scene. Guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Right.
That's my start line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what an introduction. What a fucking introduction. I mean, and shot for a couple of days. And so when you have these beautiful young ladies and their R&B artists, all that, you don't know if to how much space to give them, how to interact. When you meet rap niggas, yo, what up, my nigga? What's going on? Like, you know how to be around, not around.
Right.
But with the women, it's different. You know what I mean? They can be like, you never know. You know what I mean? But she was such a beautiful spirit, such a beautiful inside and out, humble, and it's like I said, you don't know how much conversation you can have with them while you're on the set. You just don't know, because you don't know. And man, it was such a pleasure. And I remember after filming, and it was time for me to go, and she was in the hair and makeup trailer, and I went to say goodbye. I was like, all right, see you later. And like I said, like, so as not to put myself in a place where rejection is a possibility in terms of, I said, not relationship wise, but just, hey, how you doing? Like I just, I'll do the distant, I appreciate it. And she gave me a hug. I was like, wow. Like, I can barely put in words like, oh shit.
Right.
You get so excited, like, oh shit, oh, she likes me. Not like that, but I felt really good about it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
Right.
So something like, it would tell me nothing. I got a hug from Aaliyah. I don't give a fuck. It would tell me a motherfucking thing.
Right.
But and then we did a song. You know what I'm saying? And everybody always like, yo, you want to do a song? Like, do I want to do a song with Aaliyah? Really, nigga? That's a trick question.
Right.
Right.
I wrote that shit about 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And did a video, a lot of fun. And she's the only person, the only female that I went to an award show with her. And the only female I went to the award show besides my wife was Aaliyah. You know what I mean? And when I asked her, I said, yo, it was in Cali. I'm like, yo, who you going with? Like, you want to go? You go there? She's like, yeah. I immediately, mind you, this is like a couple hours before the award happened. I immediately went out, rented a convertible Rolls Royce. Like, I gotta make the movie. I gotta make the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Pulled up. She was with her brother. I had my security with her. You know what I mean? And like, man, I was so cool. I think I was just like, yeah, stiff arm in the joint. Like, what? Drove there. Like, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the coolest motherfucker in that whole building.
Right.
Like, nigga, I'm showing up with Aaliyah, nigga. Back the fuck up.
Right.
I had my shades on and my eyes closed. Like, I was that cool. Like, I ain't gonna bump into nothing. I'm all right. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of fun.
Word up.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace to an angel.
Now, X, I know you have a lot of stuff brewing. I know you're back with Def Jam.
Yeah.
People are excited about you. We see you rolling around with the Rough Rider crew. We see you on Versus with Snoop Dogg. What's coming next for DMX? And can you give the people a preview of what's on the way?
Oh, man. So this album, I have more features on this album with artists that I've ever had with any of my albums. You know what I mean? And, man, I gotta say Swiss did this thing, man. So, brother, I love him to death, man. I appreciate that confidence that he's had, you know what I'm saying, in me, with me, and the dedication that he's given to this project. It's a blessing, man, to have, you know what I'm saying, people that love you and fuck with you for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just really am grateful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we went out there, we started banging out. You know what I mean? We did the album on Snoop's compound, you know what I'm saying? I think Dre's supposed to do a couple of joints. He's going through divorce right now. You're my prayers, brother. You know what I mean? Be strong.
Yes.
And if it comes around to it, if not. But if not, I said, I'm not gonna sit around and wait, for something to happen when, I got the opportunity to do what I'm supposed to do what I can do. You know what I mean? So we got Snoop on the joint. We got Usher on the joint. My man Brian, you know what I'm saying, the violinist. We got the Locks on the joint. Nas, Starface, Bono. Wow. Bono.
Wow.
Bono. Crazy.
Sunday Bloody Sunday music.
Yeah. Alicia Keys, like, it's just a lot of people. Lil Wayne on the joint. This album is a different joint. This is a different joint, man. I'm super excited. I'm just glad that I was given this opportunity because I went to Nashville first to start doing the album. And, on my own, like I always do, I go somewhere different. But then the label was like, yo, you want to go to LA? You want to go to LA? I'm like, no. I'm like, well, fuck it. I decided to humble myself. So you know what, I'm acting like I'm a new artist and accept the advice, because you know what? I mean, I already got a few songs done. Like, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. So I humbled myself. And I said, all right, I'm going to LA. Man, I went out there and you can't take 3 or 4 steps without tripping over talent. Without stumbling over talent.
Right.
And it was like, wow, so many opportunities, and there's so many people there to make it easier, because there was a few people we were trying to get on songs in Nashville, but we were getting, all right, when I go to the studio, I'm gonna do this. Wait, I'm gonna go over here. One day I go to the studio. I don't got time for that shit.
Right.
LA, everything's right there. Everything's right there. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It's easy. It's easy.
No doubt.
Easy. So, I'm grateful.
We are grateful for you, brother. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
I'm going to take this time to let people know that because you came around me and Dave Chappelle, we both got COVID tested. So the People's Party welcomes DMX, and I'm going to come over there and give you a pound in real life.
But
you know what I'm saying? Because we both tested like that. You know what I'm saying?
But I need you to let me kick something after the pound.
Oh, yeah. We got it.
Yes.
And I'll be looking for my crab legs in the mail.
Oh, no, I got the crab legs. You'll see.
Yes. Let's hear this shit.
All right, so I want to wrap it up. Oh, you know what? I want people to look in my eyes when I say this. All right, I want you to see. Okay. Dear Lord, I need to be rescued. No one can get done except you. Please tell me to test this through. I did my best too, as I could, as I should. Knock on wood, then I'm good, then I'm hood. But he knows my heart. And what grows from the start glows in the dark. Knows from the start I was chosen for this part. When you smart, won't always bite, but knows from the bark. Rose from the dark, caught a glimpse of the light. Now I can't live without it, man. This ain't right for me. Give it to Jesus, cause it ain't my fight. Wanna make it to the light, please make it all right. And ain't nobody but you taking my light, cause I know not many do make it through the fight, but there's still a many who walk with your grace, cause I know plenty who walk with your face in the minds and the hearts, with the word on the lips, but still straight from the herd. You heard how it gets, cause the word is a gift that'll break in the yoke strong, hold the bond down to 1/3 of its strength. When you figure the name of Jesus, you're free indeed. All you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens me. It's my destiny to be the best I can be, to give you the best of me. And now, no such thing as the rest of me, is you selfishly gave me the recipe, which is the word in the book, right here the whole time. I done did the whole 9 4 times, probably more times. I kind of lost track. And every time I got lost, of course, right back. They don't understand how I get lost like that. I learned like this, you get taught like that.
DMX.
Yeah.
People's Party.
Yeah.
Jasmin Leigh.
Jasmin Leigh.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck, get it, call me young, go get it. They can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it. What's the word?